Hello and how you doing, and welcome back to another episode of Two Jagoffs. I am your host, Austin Cairns, right here back in the beautiful media hub that Point Park University so graciously let us use. And today we are bringing on two, not one, but two very special guests for another Sunday interview. One of them just so happens to be the queen of the silver screen, and the other just so happens to be her tag team partner. Ladies and gentlemen, the production, Katie Arquette and Derek Dillinger. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You guys are absolutely incredible. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time. Derek, you made the trip all the way from what, Cleveland, just to be here today?
From
here
Cleveland.
in Pittsburgh?
I woke up really early to come here. Hit some traffic, but it was worth it to be here.
I'm glad you guys are both here. And I mean, you guys have been making waves. You've been all over the place. I just saw some Revolver clips as well from this past weekend. Congratulations, you guys, on that. But I want to know, what got you guys into wrestling originally? How did you guys get here?
Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
Ladies first. I'm a gentleman.
Okay. Well, I've always been a big wrestling fan, but my sister, she's 8 years older than I am, and she loved wrestling. She loved the Attitude Era, that late 90s, early 2000s, and I always wanted to be involved with whatever she was doing. So I would watch wrestling, and then eventually I kind of faded out of it because she kicked me out of her room because I asked too many questions. And I found wrestling again in college, and I was like, this is something I'd want to do. And I ended up finding through mutual friends IWC. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. And it was the best decision I ever made. Spent a whole year with my training and debuted. And I studied theater at school. So this was my favorite stage to be in.
That's incredible.
So I love it.
What a story. What about you, Derek? How did you get into wrestling?
On the other hand, me and my dad loved wrestling. So when I was a little baby, my dad always just had it on. And then one day he took me to an independent show when I was very young, and it was just magic, right? So it's like cool watching all these people that are just be wrestlers. And it was just like, there is no better feeling than the independent scene, right?
Yep.
I mean, they're just good memories that I had, and it's just something that I always didn't want to end when I'd be at these shows. And I figured, why not pursue it? I found a wrestling school, and then I trained, and then I've been wrestling for 13 years.
13 years in the business. Love it. And I'll tell you what, being a professional wrestling fan and now actually being involved with it, because you guys both know I do a lot of commentary and stuff, some video work here and there. Professional wrestling is the best, and especially the independent scene. And that's someone who grew up with mainstream wrestling, really starting to dive into what indie wrestling has, whether it's the IWCs, the Enjoys, the 2BWs. I mean, there's just so much to give. It's like every other weekend there's some sort of show going on around here.
Oh, yeah. It's really nice when you have a variety of promotions and people to see, meet, and get to work with. It's pretty nice having all these opportunities everywhere.
Of course, and I've seen both of your guys' work over the years. Katie, I don't know if you remember this or not, but IWC, it was in the Ice Garden.
Oh, gosh.
There was this one show. I was actually a senior in high school. I was the kid that got my senior photos in the ring right after the show, so they took a while tearing down the ring.
That was you?
That was me.
Taking up all the time to get the ring down so I can get paid. I know why I didn't like you. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome that you got to do that.
Yeah, I don't remember if you were at that show or not, there, but I remember Katie was there because it was you, it was RC Dupree, Palace, TME, and a couple other guys that I met too when I was there. And that was like one of my first real IWC shows I went to, and that was like, okay, this is probably my favorite independent company at the time. So I started going there a lot more. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then Derek, I don't know if you remember this or not. A story I want to share with you was Enjoy Wrestling last year. I took a couple of my buddies to the first ever wrestling event, and you gave me the best reaction the entire time. I just kept heckling the hell out of you. Do you guys have fun with heckling fans, or do you guys just play into it? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
So I do love fans that heckle. It's good. It's fun. You know, it's all part of the show, right?
Right.
There's only one thing that I hate when there's fans that try to be more than a fan, right? So it's like, I love wrestling. We all love wrestling. Anybody that is in wrestling should love wrestling. If they're not, they shouldn't be in it. But fans sometimes like to overstep their boundaries a little bit. And when we're at a show, it's cool to suspend that disbelief. You want to believe in the good guy, hate the bad guy. But when there's a fan in the crowd that's like trying to be the center of attention, it's like, all right, man, like,
Yeah.
let's take a step back a little bit, please. Like, the people are here to see the wrestlers, not Joe Schmo's stand-up performance in the crowd.
We all know the secrets of wrestling now,
Yeah.
especially with WWE coming out with, what is it, Unreal. Or
Unreal.
Unscripted?
Yeah.
Unscripted is the book. Unreal is the
Did you guys
TV
see Unreal
show.
yet?
No, not yet, but I want to.
It's good. I recommend it.
Sorg talked about it to us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And he is a big fan of it.
Yes.
We haven't seen it yet. I do know that Abyss loses his mind in one of them.
Yeah.
You know that?
Oh,
And he
yeah.
gets, very emotional.
Yes, he does.
I love that.
But it's nice to have it because we all know what the ins and outs are for the most part. We want to keep that magic alive. But like what Derek said, when you have fans that are trying to push it or force it or think that they belong inside the guardrail, when if you're a fan, you should stay on the outside of the guardrail.
Exactly. Support, heckle, but be respectful at the same time. Was there ever a time that you guys ever got broke from a wrestler? Because obviously you guys are in character the entire time. Was there ever a time that someone made you break kayfabe, maybe just something they said or whatever?
So I've wrestled a lot of very funny wrestlers.
Oh, no.
I've wrestled Jock Sampson before, and
Oh,
he's
boy.
the entire match he's just trying to make me laugh. So like Jock's a very funny person, but I think the funniest person I've ever wrestled is Puff. I don't know if you're aware of Puff. Puff is from Buffalo. He is the most lovable wrestler ever. But he is very funny. He wrestles in Crocs. So like he would hit you with his Croc and like not trying to spoil any of the magic that Katie was just talking about, but Crocs do not hurt if you get hit. It just sounds extremely
Oh,
loud.
God, you just broke someone's heart out there.
I'm sorry. If you get hit with the Croc, it does not hurt. But it sounds so loud. So like I was wrestling Puff once, and it was like some Halloween type match. There was like candy all over the ring apron. Where it's like having a comedy match, and Puff hit me in the head, or he hit me in the chest with this Croc, and it sounded like a gunshot that went off. And so I was like, all right. So then I just fell down and laid there like I was dead, and like a gigantic reaction. So Puff or Jock Sampson, who would be yours, Katie?
I mean, I don't have anyone specific that like I'm in the ring with. I know like Ray Lynn, her and I are always talking in there, and we're always, trying to make each other crack sometimes, but she's also very serious about what she does. But I have a story from long time ago, but like outside the ring, like with fans. And it's not as happy. It's very angry. And that's what made me break. Because I was coming out with someone. There was something going on in the ring. So I'm standing in like the entrance, and I'm a big bad guy. Well, this woman took it upon herself to pull the back of my hair, and I swiped her hand away, and I used some very colorful words, and I just completely broke. And she stepped back from me very quickly, but still had this ego. And then there was a police officer there afterwards, so I was talking to them, and she just walked up. She's like, I was just kidding. I said, you weren't, but are you nervous now because I'm talking to someone about it? Don't touch me.
You always hear those stories about fans thinking they're so tough. It's like, oh, this is just fake. You know that, right? And then you really have to put them in your place and stand up for the business and be like, no, let me show you. Like, I'll actually kick your ass if you even step to me like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with the F word, it being fake. It's like, it's not fake. No. It may be predetermined, pre-storied, but it is not fake. Everything we're doing in there is very, very real. And any fan that crosses that barricade will know exactly how real it is.
Oh, for sure. It has. I mean, I've taken a couple bumps in the ring just to see what it felt like. Oh, my God. My back hurt for a week. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I'm scrawny, but my goodness, just me landing on my back 3 times in a row, I'm like, oh, goodness, I need like a cane or something.
It's a lot.
It's bad.
I've had a wild fan story like that. In Canada, I was wrestling for Greektown, and Channing was like, I need you to go out and be a big bad guy, cut a promo, so you're going to challenge anybody from this hometown. So I'm in the ring, and I'm like being a bad guy, right? So I'm like, any hometown hero that wants to step in this ring with me, come on in. And so I'm like walking around as I'm cutting this promo. This fan stands up in the front row, and he looks at me, and he goes, and in my head, I'm like, oh, God, this is going to be bad. And I'm like, turn, I turn, and then I see him in my periffs. He cane steps over the guardrail. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be real bad. So I tell the ring announcer, I'm like, yo, security needs to be here. Then this guy slides into the ring, and I just get, like, he immediately was like, all right, he's challenging me. He comes in the ring, and then he slides in, so I give him this boot, and he just gets up, and I'm like, oh, shit. In my head, I'm like,
what am I going to do?
There's a possibility that this fan is going to fuck me up.
Yeah.
So we're standing there, and the only thing I can think of in my mind is I just grab him by the throat, cane style, like, bang. And I'm, like, squeezing him, like, choking him. And I go, hey, man, you need to get the hell out of this ring. If not, I'm going to beat your ass. And he like slowly goes, I'm sorry, man. I thought you challenged me to this match. I really thought it.
Hey, it was really
and I'm
real
like,
to
get
him.
the hell out of this ring right now. And he like slowly slides down. And like as he's sliding down, then these like 2 goon referees come out and then they start beating him up. And I'm like, where were these guys when this guy clearly looked at me, shook his head, Kane stepped over the guardrail, slid into the ring, got up.
So he was that oblivious.
Oh, dude, he was like, you challenged me.
He's like, I'll be the one.
Like, no,
You'll be the one to step up.
bro. I was so
Oh my God.
I've
Mr.
never
Promo connected with him.
dude, I've never had like that feeling in my life. This fan was like and I'm like, oh shit, this is bad. This
Not
is real
you.
bad.
That's actually insane. It reminds me of that Seth Rollins story where he got jumped when he was like walking out with the briefcase and they had to jump him right on the
Yes,
security ramp.
yes, yes.
That's what I thought of when you said that.
Then the wrestler I was wrestling came out and he was like, what was going on? And I'm like, I was just fighting a fan. It was for real, kinda.
Get him out.
Get him out. I bet it made for a better show too, huh?
It was
What did Channing say?
he was like,
Thank you for handling that.
he was like, thank you for handling that. I'm sorry we didn't have security guards. And I'm like, where were they have security guards. I just don't know where they were at.
They just weren't there.
They were not
Just
there.
were not paying attention, not present. It was funny. Makes for a cool story though.
Love it.
Well, that just shows the unpredictability that you guys have to face every
Insane.
single time you go out into the ring. And again, back to what we were saying before, like it's as real as it gets. Was there ever a moment in time in the ring that you guys really felt the pain? Like what was the worst experience in the ring?
Oh, you have a good one?
No, I have several good ones.
I saw the grin.
Well, I'm always waking up with bruises after the weekend. You know, ribs are kind of hurting. I've cracked a rib before. I'm actually experiencing one right now.
Oof.
But the biggest one was last October 4th. I broke my ankle giving an arm drag at the beginning of the match. Thankfully, it was a tag match, but I broke it immediately. Just fell right on it, giving an arm drag after doing a really cool spot, and then stood up. Everyone's like, and he's like, are you okay? I'm like, nope. And I just hobbled over. When I realized I could not put weight on it, I just went, go in there. And you're like, what? I'm like, I'm hurt. But I did finish the match because all the spots that I was planning to be there, everyone's like, stay over there. I'm like, no. And I'm hopping on one leg. There's a video out there where I'm just hopping on one leg and I'm like, I'm gonna finish. And I did.
You did. You finished the match.
But it was very traumatizing because I've broken both my ankles several times before. I broke my right ankle when I was training doing a leapfrog, which is why I don't do leapfrogs anymore. But this was really bad because I had surgery on it 2 weeks later. But I did not have an opportunity to cry. Adrenaline was going so fast. It wasn't until he carried me to the back and I was like, put me down. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he just bawled my eyes out. It was awful.
There was a medic. The medic was like, and I'm not trying to throw him under the bus if he watches this. This medic was like, he's like looking at her ankle. And in my head, I watched her roll her ankle and it bent the other way. So for sure, broken. The medic goes, it's just a bruise. It's a little contusion. I'm a medic for soccer. I'm a medic for soccer. And I see this all the time. And Katie's like, oh no. And like, I used to be a medic. So I'm like, this is not good. I'm taking her to the hospital. And he's like, oh, you were fine. Just ice it. You'll be good.
Just ice it.
And I'm like, I don't know. I want to believe his words, but I'm like, I'm in pain.
Hobbling on one leg.
No, for sure. And then she's like sitting there and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm changing because like I have to take her to the hospital. And all of a sudden this guy, I don't know where he got it from.
Oh, someone was like,
he just comes walking over with a walking boot. Like, one, you have to have like specific sized walking boot. Like, you know, it's like it's a ordeal to get one. He just has it. And he's like, here's a walking boot. And he's like, grabs Katie's leg and he's like trying to wedge her ankle in her foot. It's like, already swollen in it. And then finally I'm like, realize what's going on. I'm like, all right, man, like that's good. Like,
well, no, hold on. I was like, ooh. And Derek stands up. He's like, all right, it doesn't fit. We're just going to go to the hospital and make sure. He's like, everybody leave. She has to change.
And then everyone was just like, what? I'm like, get out of here. Like,
oh, Channing Decker was there too. He's just eating pizza, and he's like, oh, my bad.
Oh, it was Channing and Bill. Channing and Bill were there. I was like, yo, get out of here. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry.
I love you guys so much, but I need some privacy. And I'm like, Derek, don't look, hold my fur up. And I'm like,
this is the most.
And it just ended up just being a fracture, or was it like an actual break?
Broken.
It was a whole.
It was a whole break. I forget the technicals of it, but I saw an orthopedic thanks to my sister-in-law just the following week, which his book was 3 to 4 weeks out. It's very difficult to get in with orthopedics. So schedule when you can. And then he goes, yeah, we're gonna have to do surgery. And I'm like, does it have to be surgery? And because of course I'm crying. And he goes, listen, I'm not requiring surgery. I'm highly recommending it because of what you do. He's like, this could heal. We can cast you up, make you, it'll heal on its own like this. We don't need to readjust anything, but it could take longer and it may feel worse. And if you break it again, it's going to be a lot worse.
It's going to be a lot worse.
So he's like, if you have some hardware in there and you break it again, it's not going to be nearly as bad. So I'm like, okay. So I got surgery a week and a half later, October 18th, Friday.
Yeah.
And do you guys still deal with those injuries even long term? Like, are you still feeling some of the stuff just from wrestling this long, or?
Yeah, for sure. And with my ankle specifically, I was in PT since Thanksgiving week up until March, and he promised. He goes, do you promise me if I clear you, you're going to keep doing calf exercises? Because that's all you do with ankle breaks. I said, yes, I promise. And I did it first. And then I stopped. It's now a new routine before I put my boots on before a match. And then the couple times, just on my toes walking, I didn't do it the one time. And it was kind of sore afterward. And I'm like, I'm going to keep doing my calf exercises before I put my boots on. So,
wow,
helps alleviate.
You feeling any pain still?
Yeah, I mean, it's just my body hurts always.
Always.
So last week, my worst injury I got was I broke my arm when I first started wrestling. So your good pal Keith Hart.
Oh yeah.
I'm in West Virginia.
Okay.
He tells me, he's like, hey, I'm gonna hit you with the CM Punk head kick. All right, and I'm like, all right, that's
like
cool.
the GTS or
like that big kick he does.
Oh, like the roundhouse kick kind of? Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. So, not giving any of the magic away. I have this hand here, and I have this one bent to my side. And so I don't know what happened. Keith didn't get his leg up high, so he's kicking me with his right. So I have this hand here. So he kicks me, and he ends up kicking this arm that's to my side. He kicks my arm to the side, and I'm like, oh, God, that hurt real bad. And I'm like, oh, crap. And then we finished the match. And I'm like, man, I have this bad bruise in my arm. It's in West Virginia because this is, when you first start, you wrestle in West Virginia a lot. I drive. It's me and Matthew Justice, Matt Justice. He and I are driving down this hill in West Virginia, and I physically cannot lift my hand up. So I have to, put my hand up, and we're, going all these curves. And Matt Justice goes, bro, pull over. And I pull over, and he gets out of the car, and he starts throwing up. And, the code, and, you probably know this, the code when you first start wrestling is you have to be the driver. You have to be the young boy. You have to drive the vets around. So I'm driving Matt Justice around. And I pull over, and he gets out and starts throwing up, and he's, pissed. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, I can't feel my arm. So we drive all the way home.
He drove.
Matt Justice drove, so he's pissed already. And so he's mad. We drive home, and we get back to Cleveland. Matt goes home. I go home. I'm wrestling at PWX the next day. Wow. But prior, I am getting promo pictures. So then I go to get promo pictures. Another wrestler who helped train me, Ricky Shane Page, he's there, and I'm trying to put my elbow pad on. And I can't pull it up over my arm. And he's like, what are you, a baby? And he's poking my arm. And so I wrestle a full match the next day in Pittsburgh. Drive back, or I get driven back home because I can't lift my arm up. I used to work at the hospital as a medic. I go to the hospital, and I ask one of my friends in radiology, and I go, hey, can you shoot an x-ray of my arm just to make sure maybe it's hurt? I don't want to go to the ER if it's just a bruise or something. And so she x-rays my arm, and she, her face goes blank. And she's like, come here. And she's like, you wrestled 2 matches? And I go, yeah. And she shows my arm. My ulna bone is cracked in half. Just the one of them, not both of them, just one of them completely cracked in half. And like, so if you look at my arm now, there's like a weird like it's, you can notice it. And so
something off.
It's off. It's a little messed up. So I broke my arm wrestling, and I was out for a while when I first started.
Did that require surgery too and stuff?
No surgery.
No surgery? Okay, thankfully.
But it just healed weird, so like I have a weird lump on my arm.
It shows that you guys are still living with that too.
Yeah.
My goodness. And I mean, you guys are out there all the time putting your bodies on the line each and every single weekend. I mean, there's two parts of wrestling that a lot of people don't know about. Not only is it the physical part, it's also the storytelling part.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm a big fan of, the storytelling. And Derek, I mean, you're mostly known for being a heel. Katie, I've seen a little bit of both from you guys. Do you guys have a preference on what you like to be? Heel, face?
Well, I know your answer.
You're a heel.
Like, I'm a heel. Just,
we all know that.
I'm a heel in life, too, I think. Like, people hate me for real, and I'm fine with it.
What's with all the hate? I noticed that.
Dude,
jealousy. Being envious. I think that's a big part of why people get so hateful towards people that are better than them or are on the same level as them or getting more opportunities. And it's like, we talk about supporting each other always, but it's never like that, especially if you're not a local or you're just the outsider coming in. You get that immediate heat, and then people like to talk. So
I was this is probably
high school.
This is before your
time. It is high school.
This is for sure before your time. So when I first started in Pittsburgh, I was like a PWX guy. So like there's weird cliques in wrestling. So like I wrestled for PWX, and I finally got good enough to where I was brought into IWC.
Yeah.
And like when I came into IWC, I was this outsider, and people did not like me. And people would be like, in wrestling, there's a lot of people that are like, "Hey, it's good to meet you. Hi, it's nice to see you. I'm so happy to see you here." But then as soon as you walk away, they're like, "Oh, why is this guy here?" So like that's how
I liked you.
That's how it was when I first started in IWC. And you know, you just have to drown that noise out, because the cream always rises to the top. You'll get a lot of people that want to see you fail, or they'll go out of their way to try to make you fail or try to bury you. And it's just, if you love something so much, you're not going to stop. Like I have had the ball, or I've had the odds stacked against me here or in IWC, but I never stopped, right? So like I never stopped, and the true talent will always show. So like that's just levels to this. Like I can hand you a list of 20 promotions, not just in Pittsburgh, just in the area that you can drive to, and I could go, "Yo, rank these promotions for me," and you wouldn't be able to, because this piece of paper doesn't show the levels. This shows like, hey, these are promotions. It's like we would need like a 3D model, right? Because in wrestling, there is people that is better than you. Like, I'm not saying I'm the best, because I'm learning. I learn every single day that I'm doing something. But there's a lot of people that are in these promotions that are the longtime guy that was here, and they're like, "Oh, this is my promotion. This is my locker room," and they're like, "Oh, I know everything." When you reach a level to where you're not learning or you're not training, you're gonna fail. Like, you're gonna fail as a wrestler. Like,
You'll plateau.
You become very stagnant, and like that's what is very unfortunate. That
mentality comes from.
That's very unfortunate with wrestling. Is there's a lot of people that get stagnant, and then that creates them to be bitter.
Yeah.
And then like there's a lot of bitter people, and then when these bitter people are just unloading their feelings towards wrestling, it just sours it for people. Like I told you off camera earlier, I want to give you advice, but I love seeing how happy you are with wrestling, because you're so new into it. It makes me happy as a person that's like tenured. So like that's just,
you got to take everything with a grain of salt when you hear things about people, because people have their own opinions and their own perspectives and experiences with individuals. Like, I liked you when you came to IWC, because when I first started, like, I'm an actress, he's the director. Everyone's like, "You two need to pair up," and I'm like, I don't know this guy from Ohio, and he doesn't know me, and I'm new, so I'm not good. So this was my opportunity to be like, "Oh, Derek and I can be a team," and it still didn't happen until like 4 years later.
That's a great point you guys bring up too, because I mean that's been a key vocal point that we've talked about with other wrestlers on the podcast, was tribalism, about being able to be judged by one company, or one company looks down on you for another thing. I mean, I'm assuming, have you guys ever experienced something like that?
Oh yeah. Can I give you a controversial answer here?
You can give me whatever you want, Derek.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Let's hear it.
So tribalism only exists in pro wrestling if you let it exist. There's a lot of people that will sit there and say, I'm an independent contractor. I can wrestle wherever I want. True. But let's look at the other side of this too. A promoter, what are these shows that run? These are independent wrestling companies. That means they're independent companies where these promoters can book independent talent. If person wrestles for company ABC and they also wrestle for company XYZ, right? So they wrestle these same companies. They're 20 miles apart from each other. This company's tickets are $5. This company's tickets are $25. Now, if you and your partner have 2 kids and you love wrestling and you're going to go to watch your favorite wrestler that wrestles at both of these companies, which company are you going to go to see?
Definitely the cheaper one.
The cheaper one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get these promoters that are going to see this, and now guess what? You book this wrestler at this company for $25 a piece, ticket-wise. You just lost 4 tickets because they're going 20 miles down the road to wrestle for a company that offers cheaper tickets. And, like, that's the way it is, and people get very upset about it. But at the end of the day, this is a business.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to diminish your worth because guess what? If you're wrestling at all these companies within a 20-mile radius, you're going to become the regular guy, right? You're going to become that Pittsburgh guy. You're going to have no mystique. I'm not going to drive as a fan, 30 minutes to see you wrestle because I love watching you wrestle when I could drive 5 minutes and watch you wrestle for $5.
Yeah.
You're creating a brand.
Yeah, so like you have to build a brand, and people try to justify the means to where they're like, oh, tribalism, I can't wrestle there because it's loyalty. It's like, no, like if you allow it, you're allowing it.
Just to go off of that, loyalty is good, especially in a business. You're creating your brand. You don't want to burn bridges, and you don't want to be accessible to all the fans because it doesn't matter if you are working at company A that is $5 a ticket or company B that's $25 a ticket. You can easily transition, but you're not going to have 2 full-time jobs and put all your effort into one and not in the other, or vice versa. But the loyalty thing, like, it's a business. If you have done all that you can do at company A, maybe it would be a good opportunity to branch off and go somewhere else, because that way you're still keeping fans loyal to their promotions, but you're also inviting new fans to different promotions. And there's nothing wrong with having a professional conversation, being like, listen, I feel like I've achieved as much as I can here, or maybe there's still a lot for me to learn and I think I can accomplish that better elsewhere. Then do that. You never want to burn bridges. Now, there are going to be promoters and wrestlers backstage that will completely go against that, or say like, well, then you're never coming back. It's like, well, maybe I will, because maybe I've made it big enough where you're going to want me to come in because I'll sell more tickets. But all in all, like you said it best, tribalism only exists if you believe it is such.
I mean, and there's different variables to all of this.
Oh,
right? So, like,
yeah.
this isn't like...
We could take the whole podcast
to
talk about
these
it.
are just our opinions on it.
Me and West went like 20 minutes with it, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just building a brand. Like, you want to be a star. You want to present the best product you can. When you're spreading that amongst everyone,
I'll
like,
just see them next week.
Yeah, like,
I'll buy a T-shirt that
get
other time. Maybe I'll get it the next time. It's like, well, now you're missing out on merch, you're missing out on ticket sales, and you're missing out on people seeing what could be an excellent match.
To expand this a little more too, doesn't the promoters ever get in the way with that? Just like a hypothetical scenario here, because I'm not a wrestler.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever run into the scenario where, okay, there's 2 promoters that you have been loyal to for a very long time and you have wrestled for, but they just so happen to have a show on the same weekend, same time, but it's a different place. Where do you guys lay in where you have to make that decision? Like, how hard is that?
There's definitely a lot of variables with that, just from a business perspective, but you also have to see what you're doing on that show specifically. Is there a story? Are you feuding with someone?
Are you champion?
Are you champion?
Champion's
Are
the big
you
one. Yeah.
building to something, right? If you're just a common roster member and it's just going to be a cool match, or maybe you're just doing a one-off, then maybe if the other promotion you're being pushed in a different, like being pushed in general, that might be the better opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the same thing. Like if that promotion is your home promotion, right?
Yeah.
And they give you all these amazing matches. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? You have to take your home promotion that gives you all these amazing matches because that's your home promotion. Like, it's just a lot of different variables. I mean, you have to, and this is another thing. Wrestlers are not organized. So
No.
you're gonna deal with people that are like, oh, I don't even open my mail. Like, I don't know my dates. Like in our calendar.
Oh, those are the same day.
Yeah, in our and we have a shared note in our iPhones. It's where it has all of our dates. And you know, I don't take a date unless I look at this paper because like, hey, we're gonna be together on every show for the most part. If we're booked already, I'm not going to agree to this date.
Yeah, because you don't want to start stuff with another company
And
you're
that's
already
another
committed
thing.
to.
Yeah, don't you don't want to cancel because of something else. But if WWE says, "Hey, I have a match for you," it's like, well,
that's WWE.
And it's just like, I mean, I think a lot of people in wrestling, sometimes there has to be uncomfortable conversations, and I think that is what scares wrestlers, and I think that's what the miscommunication is because people don't want to have difficult conversations.
you don't want to upset someone. You don't want them to get mad at you, which is human.
Right.
But you need to think about yourself. Like, it is okay to be selfish if you're doing it that is purposeful and it's going to benefit you and a lot of people.
Right. And that was the big advice I was given as someone who was coming into the wrestling and the sports business was you got to be selfish to an extent, but at the same time, pay it forward.
Stay humble, pay it forward.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You have to find that median of selflessness and selfishness.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, you got to be able to have the perfect gel. You got to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity for myself, but at the same time, let's be a little loyal here. Let's help out. Let's give back. Let's pay it forward. So
do what's best for you.
I mean, and like this is another thing. This is gonna sound messed up, but
say it.
You don't always have to take the high road, right?
Yeah.
So that's a thing that I've been trying to tell myself lately is like, you have to benefit yourself. You're your brand.
Got to benefit yourself. Got to benefit your brand. Well, you guys have been doing this for a long time. I'm assuming you guys had amazing matches all over the road, up and down, all over the country. Was there one that ever stood out to you guys? I got to know. What's your favorite match?
Ooh. There's so many good ones. I need to think of something.
I'll let you go.
Oh, gosh. From a singles perspective, well, just in general, like anywhere, anything.
Yeah. Anytime you competed, anything that stood out to you. I mean, I'm assuming you wrestled Britt Baker several times, so that has to be one of them.
A couple,
just
yeah.
a few.
Just a few. I mean, my debut match was with her, and then the first time I won the IWC title was for her too, and she wanted to make it really special. So, like, there's moments like that. I work with Zoe, Sky, and Raylan countless times, so like any match with them is always memorable and sticks out. But I think a big match that I really enjoyed was recently at AIW against Priscilla Kelly.
Gigi Dolan, right?
Yes.
Okay,
She was so sweet, and I've always been a fan of hers. So when I saw the match graphic, I wasn't even informed. I just saw the match graphic. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. I am very pumped about this. And she was so cool to work with. Very nice. Like, you think a lot of times when people are signed on a very high level that they come off thinking they're still very high up, right? I mean, she knows her worth 100%. And but it was just very easy to work with her, and it was a match that I thoroughly enjoyed and challenged me because there was salt in the ring.
There was salt
from the match before, and it was very slippy. And
what was the match before?
Not to break my ankle. Some tag match that had stipulations involved, and they decided to bring salt out. Not my forte. But I guess from a tag perspective, my favorite tag match of ours was probably the recent ones against the Savage Gnomes with Bear Bronson and Gabby Forza in Greektown whenever we wrestled them. I think that was like our second or third time wrestling them, and that's probably my favorite one. It was a great reaction, great chemistry.
Yeah, I love wrestling. Bear Bronson and Gabby, they're pretty good. There's a couple of tag matches that I really liked. We wrestled Kevin Blackwood and Haley Dillon in C4 in Canada. And that match, we had to wrestle as babyface, which is wild, right?
Yeah. Derek is a babyface.
We were good guys. I got like a cool comeback, and I did moonsault.
Do they still boo you, or they?
Oh, they loved us.
They actually loved it. Okay.
They were like going crazy for us.
That's crazy. Who would have thought?
Not us.
Me neither. I was freaking out about it, and I'm like, I have to be a good guy.
Like, just smile.
Like, I don't know how to do this, but that was really fun. It was a good match. I liked wrestling them. We recently won the Unsanctioned Pro Tag Team titles in Columbus. We wrestled a tag team of Unsigned and Don't Care. There's usually 3 members to it. We wrestled Aaron Williams and Anakin Murphy.
That was a good one.
And it was really fun. Anakin, he injured, got hurt. So he had some big stuff coming up. So he got hurt, and he couldn't do his big stuff they had coming up. So, like, obviously, I feel terrible for him. But prior to that, we had a really good match, and he didn't get hurt in our match. It was like the week afterwards, but
Yeah, not our match.
It wasn't your match.
He was
Okay.
fine.
it was great, perfect. I set him on the road for his good match, but we took his belts, or took their belts, so that was good. I've wrestled a lot of really talented people. One of my favorite matches I wrestled was Joey Janela. So again, not to ruin the art, Joey and I have known each other for a while. I was so excited to wrestle him. Joey's flight that day got canceled. So I'm like freaking out. And like the promoter, John Thorne in AIW, he's like, I don't know when Joey's getting here. We're going to move your match later on. So our match kept getting later on. And it got to the semi-main event. And John's like, I can't switch the main event. The main event was like a big match. And Joey finally lands, and he's coming in. And he's like, hey, Joey's on his way. Go out to the ring and take your time. So, like, I go out, and I'm, like, just being a bad guy. And, like, we haven't even talked. Didn't even see him. Didn't see him.
Wow.
Did not see him at all. So me and Katie are there, and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, no. I'm not okay. I'm literally not okay. And Joey's theme music hits, and he comes out. And you could see he's, like, tightening his boots. He's, like, coming out. He's, like, fixing his gear. He literally landed, put his gear on in the car, got to the venue. I was in the ring. His music hit. He came out, and then we wrestled for 35 minutes.
Wow.
And, like, not just, like, chaining wrestling, like, not just wrist lock. Like, we were using weapons. We were using doors. At one point, he picked Katie up and DVD'd her off of the apron onto me
him.
through a table. Like, just this crazy match we had. He, like, superplexed me off the top rope. And it was great. Like, we literally...
It was a great match.
No botches.
No, literally nothing. Like, it
Wow.
was like the weirdest thing is like I've never had a match like that to where it's like, hey, you're just in the ring doing it.
Yeah.
Nothing pre-planned, nothing talked. Didn't even see him until I was there. Went out and had this crazy match. That's one of my favorite matches because it tested me not only as a wrestler, but it like tested me like, hey, I can hang. And like that's a good one that I had. I got to wrestle Tommy Dreamer a lot.
Yeah, I never see it. So.
A lot, like a whole bunch of time. So that gave me Tommy Dreamer as a friend. So like Tommy will message me and I'll be able to pick his brain and ask him for advice. So like that's something that I'm very lucky to have.
What about your boy Wes? Don't you have a lot of good matches with him, or is he not your boy anymore after what we just saw recently? I don't know.
It's hard to tell, right?
It's hard to tell.
Right?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Love-hate relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. In IWC, I hate Wes Barkley.
You hate him.
He cost me the IWC tag team titles. But outside of IWC, he's one of my boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's one of your boys.
One of my guys.
I was a vicious. What was it? You just jumped right off the apron.
Well, just left.
He just left.
You know, he left me hanging with the tag titles, lost them. Didn't help me. So why should I help him?
Found him to the wolves too.
Yeah, just left. He can get beat up.
Gotta
Do
be a
his
little
own thing.
selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, at least we get to see the production now, and
And
I get to
IWC.
see the production everywhere. I mean, you guys kind of touched on it earlier about how you guys formed, but what was the idea behind the production itself? Like coming up with the name, coming up with the gear? Because I gotta be honest, it's one of the coolest things out there in indie wrestling.
you.
I really
Thank
like the whole
you.
gimmick.
Thank
Yeah, of
you.
course.
So there is, if you look at the cage match, there is a whole bunch of iterations of the production. Production started in AIW in Cleveland. It was just literally a wrestler named Frankie Flynn, another wrestler named Magnum CK, and myself. Then that evolved to multiple members throughout the years. One of the big variations of it was me, a guy named Eddie Only, and Danhausen.
No, Danhausen.
So like this is like still a weird point of like that Danhausen becoming like tequila dancing, cool, very evil Danhausen.
Very evil.
He was still trying to figure it out. And at one point, I was just his manager. Like I literally was just managing Danhausen at matches, which was great. And then we finally kept moving on. I teamed with Ziggy Haim for a while, and we did a lot of cool stuff. We were the Enjoy Tag Team Champions. Like very fond moments of my career that I look back on and I'm very happy about. You know, as every team, there's a time where you have to keep moving. Katie and Ziggy had a storyline. They naturally trained together, so why not have them go at it. Ziggy retired, unfortunately, and they never got to have that match, which bums me out because I really wanted to see it. Me and Katie joined, and we've been wrestling as a tag team everywhere since, and it's just something that I'm very happy about. I think, and this is going to sound really goofy, I know me and Katie are the best intergender tag team in the area.
I don't think there's a debate there. I don't think there's.
Easily hands
I don't
down.
even think I can name another one, to be honest with you.
Hands down, I think we are. And I could put that up against anyone. I think we're one of the top tag teams in the area as well. Like
overall.
Like in general. Like obviously TME is amazing. And they're a team that I want to wrestle. We wrestled them a little bit in Erie. We were in like a multi-man, but I feel me and Katie versus TME would be an amazing match. Me and Gannon Jones broke in at the same time. And like
Shout out to Gannon.
We wrestled each other a whole bunch. His interview with you was great.
I appreciate that.
And he said kind words about us, and that made me happy because it's true. It's I sent it back to him. Like he said we should be signed somewhere. I think TME should be signed somewhere.
Of course.
100%.
And it's just how wrestling is. But how we came up with the name, I was the director. Frankie Flynn was his character was he was like a theater guy. So originally it was like I'm a director for a theater play.
Thespian.
Thespian.
It's a
I was a thespian. But I didn't know anything about theater, right? Look at me. Do I look like I am a theater kid? I'm sorry, I'm not.
Can't get up on stage and do West Side Story?
I can't.
No?
I can't even snap my fingers. I love movies and I love horror movies, so that was what my thought was when I started teaming with Ziggy. I'm like, this is a exploitation film. This is a B grunge movie.
The final girl.
And she was the final girl.
Yeah.
It worked.
And I'm like, this is good. And then like when Katie's the leading lady, right? So every horror movie has a leading lady. So I was like, this is good. So it just transitioned. This is what we are. Where me and Katie is Golden Age cinema, Queen of the Silver Screen, meets New Wave violence. So that's what it is, the production.
It was the
Makes
perfect segue with how things worked when him and I finally joined at AIW. And then it wasn't until maybe like a month later, he came to me and he's like, what if we take this tag team everywhere? Not just at AIW, but where can we take it? Because I have been wrestling 8 years. At the time, I had been wrestling for just 7 or 6.5. And he's like, I feel like we've both done exceptionally well. Singles career-wise, there's still much more to learn, but what can we take in this next chapter as a tag team? And I was like, yeah, because that's whenever I was kind of contemplating on stopping wrestling. So in a way, this really saved reinvigorated my love for wrestling.
Of course, and it gives you more opportunities too. Being able to
yeah.
compete in the tag team division, being able to compete against, I guess, like you guys said, TME, some of the other amazing tag teams that's around the country. I want to ask you this though, Katie, because I always found this interesting, and I was so glad that you were coming on the podcast because I couldn't really ask Wes or Palace or any of our other former wrestlers this question, but since you are a female wrestler, what is it like wrestling within the women's division within Pittsburgh or just around the independent scene? Because from an outsider looking in, it is pretty thin. So, like, what's that like wrestling in there? Because you are one of the pioneers for it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah,
In Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. We
Let's put that out.
This is my question.
She's a pioneer in Pennsylvania.
My question.
You're a brawler here.
No, whenever I started, that's when I saw Britt debut, right when I started training. So, like, it was her and Raylan. That's the only two people I saw, and Raylan even said, like, it's Britt and I everywhere on every weekend, just going wherever we can. So Ziggy and I were training together. So it was like her and I were kind of going everywhere, and seeing how the women's division has evolved in the last 8 years, it's exceptional. I love how much it has grown, and we're not just considered divas anymore. And I give complete respect to the divas era. It did what it needed to. It fit where it did. It worked. But now women's wrestling is women's wrestling, not just two girls going in there and cat fighting or what have you. So I feel like after we started teaming together and I was feeling like I had plateaued, and like I stay humble and I've been humbled and I try to continue to learn as much as I can. I was like, I need to do something different. I don't know what that is. And he's like, I train at the IW school almost two times a week. So come up. And that's where we worked on our tag team. And I was able to evolve even more. I felt like I had a lot of good basic training through IWC and through Pittsburgh, because I wrestled a lot of places, and West Virginia, and some of the unknown places in Ohio. But I feel like now it feels really good knowing that when compliments like that, which I still am like very appreciative. Ava Brooks, for instance. Yeah. She is someone that has always looked up to me, and it's still surreal to think that way, but I feel more confident in that role because I do see it and I know that I have more to offer. I have more to offer her. So I definitely appreciate, everything that I was given and the opportunities that I tried to make the most of, and continuing to just learn and ride that wave.
And it's great to see too, because I remember growing up just watching indie wrestling here in Pittsburgh. It was always you, Britt Baker, Ray Lynn. Yeah, that was it. Those are the only three that I knew. Anytime I see someone else, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's more. And it's great to see. And you also stepping into the zone where you're a tag team with Derek, you're able to do more of the intergender matches. Yeah. And for people that only watch mainstream wrestling, when they see an intergender match for the first time, it's kind of a shockwave because they don't really expect man versus woman or male versus female. But you just get in the ring just like it's nothing. I mean, is there really a big difference there?
There is to a degree.
I want to cut Katie off just for this, and she can answer this. I'm not trying to step on her toes. There is, right? Yeah. So, like, before when we started teaming, we studied intergender tag teams over and over and over. Right. I hate when I see just, like, a random guy with his girlfriend. Like, I hate that. Like, it drives me nuts because it's like there's no art to this. Like, they're going to plan this match like a regular tag team match. There's a whole bunch of variables in intergender match, right? So, breaking it down, me and Katie as a tag team. She's not as strong as me. She's smaller. Whoa. So she's the weaker link of the team, right? So if we're telling a match story, the other team would want to take me out so they can have, the weaker person. Also, it's very weird for a guy just to randomly hit a girl. Yeah. So if you ever watch any of our tag team matches, I've figured it out. I'm still learning, but what we have works pretty well is we will establish everything right from the jump. Katie is we're bad heels always. She will slap that guy right in the face. So now when she slaps this guy, what's going to happen? I mean, it opens the door for him to hit her back because she opens the door. But intergender wrestling is hard. You have to plan it. And when you can plan it and tell an amazing story, guess what? It's great.
It needs to make sense. Yeah. That's the thing. Okay. No, that everything he said is true. I'm strong though. I'm not that small. But no, it has to make sense. People are always like, well, guy and girl. And I'm like, well, you can't just look at it as guy and girl. Yeah. What do they look like? Because you see Big Show versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like who's gonna win? Oh, it'll be Big Show, but it's two guys. It's like, well, that doesn't make it any different. And if you watch their matches, you see how clever Rey Mysterio has to get and how Big Show has to change his strategy. He can't just go after him because he's dipping and dodging. So whenever we do have, and it's not always like us and another guy and a girl. Oops. Yep. It's always like us and two other guys. Like, so whenever some are very hesitant to work with me, which you do a very good job at, like no, like I can handle myself and I'm not going to whiff anything or make it look unbelievable, but I am going to build to something that's going to still show my strengths because I do offer more than I think a lot of people do in the sense of I'm not just a female in the ring where I'm going to smack you in the face, which I hate doing. I hate smacking people in the face unless they're the ones coming up with that idea. But
I come up with it.
yeah, because I'm
Shout out BDE.
No. Oh gosh.
She slapped him in the face.
He was.
Yeah, I saw the clip on Instagram.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, slapped the hell out of him.
How many views has it gotten? A lot.
It got a lot. but yeah, as long as it's planned accordingly, it can make sense. Like
Yeah.
when we wrestled for the unsanctioned titles, I worked with Aaron in the beginning, and he wanted to work with me. Yeah. He watched my stuff, and he was like, "You can work, like you know how to work." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So I want to do this." So we planned a whole good thing in the beginning, and he's like, "Oh shit!" They're gonna wrestle.
I was standing on I didn't. So like, there is a lot when we plan matches. I don't listen to what Katie's doing, and like it's just. I don't listen to what he's doing. I don't listen to it. Like I know I trust her.
Go
like,
with the flow.
There's trust, so like
Yeah.
I don't need to listen to her micromanage. And I just was standing on the airport, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "They're really fucking going at it right now." I was like, "This is good."
Makes for good television.
I was like,
Yes.
"Holy shit!"
No, that's great though too. And I mean, a match that I think of, which is a perfect example of that, was the Stage AE show from last year, Enjoy Wrestling. You guys, I think it was a fatal 4-way tag team match.
Yep.
TME was in it. I want to say Facade was in it.
Facade and Danny Mo,
Facade
and
and
then the Kings of the District.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was there second row for that, and if I remember correctly, you slapped the hell out of Duke Davis at the beginning of the match, and that's what led into the big brawl. And that was one of the best tag matches I saw in a very long time.
That was a fun match.
It was real good.
I love just the venue.
That
in
was
general,
that was actually one of our first tag matches. I don't want to say first, but it was one of our first tag.
few. Yeah, first like
So
5 to 10.
So like things have gotten progressively better just with time.
Is there a preferred style of wrestling that you guys like? Are you guys more of the technical wrestlers, more of the grapplers?
So I am trained by Chris Hero, Cassius Ono. He is one of the most amazing technical wrestlers there is. But I can do that. But I think a very hard-hitting style works better with me. So I'm going to hit you real hard, and I'm going to chop you. And Katie, when she trained with me, I hit her real hard. I chopped her. Like, I think everyone should, we're in this wrestling together. It's nothing egregious as long as you're doing it correctly, and that's the way I wrestle.
Right.
If you watch Katie, how she wrestles now, she hasn't adapted. She has adapted a style similar to that. So she's going to chop you, she's going to hit you, she's going to suplex you. And it's more of an aggressive style than what she was doing when she first started. I love watching early Katie matches.
I don't.
Because like Katie, and I mean, I don't want to say like brand new, but like still just first few years, Katie is very like the training wheels are on, right? So the training wheels are on. And then like when she started teaming with me, I'm like, just start doing reckless stuff. Like just
reckless but safe.
Yeah, I'm like, just start suplexing people and dropping them on their head.
Yeah, like to me it was very training wheels. Like, and I wanted to do more because I had a conversation with Jonathan Gresham about that around that time. Like I want to be like more strong style, throw in more suplexes and things like that. Really take advantage of my strikes in the heat and things like that. But when I did start training with him, it's like you can do more with less, but still like you can throw in a suplex, you can hit them here, you don't have to think about it. These are things you don't need to talk about or discuss in terms of a line of what's next. But yeah,
You're able to start just kind of going on that pace.
Oh yeah,
it's like a whole flow kind of.
100% a flow, and it definitely adapted more, like he said.
Once I realized that I was watching her wrestle Zoe Sky in some some smaller Ohio promotion,
right?
And I'm like watching it, and she like suplexes Zoe Sky onto a ladder.
German
and I was like, oh yeah, that's sick. And then like Zoe Sky's busted open, like it was just like accidental, like busted her head open.
Yeah, it was an accident.
And I was like, this is good. Like this is how you should wrestle. And like she was like, at first she was like, oh, I feel bad. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you didn't do nothing wrong. I'm like, accidents happen. I'm like, but this is the intensity that you need to bring everywhere we wrestle.
Right.
Wrestle.
Yeah. And like you're supposed, like he said, being more aggressive. Like we're not baking cakes here. We're wrestling.
You're
it's
wrestling.
not fake. Like we're hitting each other. Of course you want to do it safely. You want to do it with purpose. You don't want to just beat someone up because it's going to blow you up just as much. But you need to, you're in a fight.
Yeah.
How else are you supposed to do that? And I got told whenever I was early on, like, my forearms are too snug or they're too hard. And it's like, okay, so I lightened up and it just doesn't look as believable. But when you start traveling, I keep hitting this damn mic. When you start traveling more and more, like you don't realize the intensity all these other wrestlers bring. And if you're just trying to make a forearm look like a forearm or a punch look like a punch, no one's going to believe you because it looks like you're just putting in those ingredients to bake your cake. And it's like, we need this, we need this. It's like, no, hit them. And accidents happen, shit happens. I was so worried about Zoe and she's like, oh, I'm fine. I should have tucked my head. I'm like, no, I should have.
Oh, she's just bleeding all over the place?
Yeah, she cut the back of her head. And like, that's the other thing. People in the back were like, oh my God,
but
this and that.
This is like the Southern Ohio. Like these people are like, oh, brother, we're just working. It's like, no, like if you want to be intense, be intense. Like her head had a little gash. And like I've bled so much in wrestling. Like I've bled so much. I've been around people that's done death matches all the time. And so like I looked at it and I was like, you're fine. Like I told her.
And she's like, it felt fine, but I can't see it. She's like, I trust you, Derek.
And like she asked me, I'm like, you're good.
You're good.
Fine.
She's like, I need stitches.
But everyone was like, oh my God. Oh my God, you need to go to the ER right now. Oh my, you need stitches. You need stitches. You need to go. And like they were like freaking her out. And I'm like, dude, you're fine.
Yeah, it's a little,
I'm like, you'll be good. And like, it's fine. It's healed.
Get out more.
Her head's not leaking blood still.
Yeah.
A lot of the blood spots always get me even as a fan. Just like look at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, like how are they bleeding? And obviously without breaking the fourth wall, we know there's some bleeding that goes on sometimes as well. I mean, you guys ever been involved in death matches?
Oh yeah.
Not a death match. But like
you've done death matches. Yeah. What was some death match stories?
So me and Matt Justice, we had like a best of 5 series or something. Like we went on like a thing. And Matt Justice really gave me my stripes, right? I was wrestling him, and he threw a chair at my face. And the chair hit me like a certain way, and it broke my nose. Like, first thing in the match, broke my nose, and then he grabbed the chair, and he hit me in the head with the chair. So then, like, he, for real, split my head open. So, like, my nose is bleeding out of here. I have a scar on my nose right here. It was bleeding. And then, like, my head was bleeding. So I'm just pouring out blood, and I can't breathe. Wow. And like if you break your nose, your eyes are watering. Yeah. And I'm like freaking out, and he's just like beating me up on the outside, and I'm like, Matt, give me a second, please give me a second. He's just beating me up, and I'm progressively bigger than Matt Justice, and so I hated doing this. Like with my hands, I have really hard chops. I chopped him in the throat, and I was like, give me a second. I chopped him in the throat, and he looked at me and he goes, yeah, and his Matt Justice face, and he started giving me these forearms, and I'm like, oh, and like we're like actively fighting each other, and I love Matt, and he loves me, so he's like forearming me, and I'm like, I need a second, like I'm pouring out blood, so I picked him up for a body slam. We're on the floor, and I just threw him with this body slam, like away from me, and then I'm like wiping my eyes, and I'm talking to the referee, I'm like, oh my God, is my teeth still in my face? Like, I was like, yeah, but that's a crazy one. She has a good one. She has a scar on her forehead.
Yeah, from AIW. It was a 4-way with Ziggy, Jocelyn Navarro, and Becca. This was in 2023, and there was a couple things. I have a scar in the middle of my forehead, and I have a scar up here, and this is from a baking sheet that got thrown directly at my head. Thank you, Ziggy. And then the other one was Becca hit me with the chair, and that's sliced me open. And I wasn't supposed to roll out of the ring, and I rolled back in, and I was like, I don't know where I'm at. And then Jocelyn's like, finish. And then I'm like, yep, and then got through it. So it was a cool picture. As soon as I came to the back, promoter John Thorne, he just flick. And then he's like, good. And I'm like, oh, well, I think he's happy with it. I think he's fine with it. But yeah, I was like, well, at least I got some good pictures from it, some good content. Hopefully the next time it happens, it's on TV.
And I'll even throw my 880 friends under the bus. You guys are some crazy son of a bitches bleeding every single week, it feels like. Oh my goodness. Like I see, like, I mean, I get it again. Like it's the art of the storytelling, being able to build stories, stuff like that. But there's some times where I see some of the blood and some of the death matches. They're hitting over the head with light tubes it's crazy. Yeah. Glass.
It's intense. I would never do glass.
Never do glass?
No, I wouldn't do glass. Because
would you do glass, Derek?
Would be so micro. Like glass is glass. Like it can be this freaking big in you, and you have no idea.
The worst part about it, that is Like, it's very scary sounding, right? Getting hit with the fluorescent light tube. The worst part is you have this match when you go home and take a shower. That water hitting you on all your cuts that's the worst pain there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you guys even like go home after a match like that? Because I know like a lot of the times like when you're on the road, you're going straight home afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always stay in a hotel and stuff. If you're coming home from a death match, you're like all bleedy, all busted up. What's that like?
Like, deathmatch wrestlers are a different breed, and
I can't do it.
And I have never done anything as crazy as like some people, but like I'm friends with Eric Ryan. He's won like so many deathmatch tournaments. Like, just seeing him come home and like there's these tournaments, there's no like, oh, there's a shower. Like, there's not always a shower. So these guys are taking like dude wipes and they're like wiping their arms and they're like getting patched up with glue or band-aids and then they go home and then they finally have to deal with it. It's crazy. I have so much respect for those guys because they're crazy. They're animals, dude. Like, it's nuts.
I was freaking out about this. I just had a big old Band-Aid and I bent over to tie my shoes and I started dribbling. I'm like, oh my God. Keep my head up like this on the way home.
There's a little bit too much blood. My
Yes.
goodness. So who were you guys some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? Just out of curiosity. You guys have a Mount Rushmore? Just some favorites?
Ooh, yeah. I have what kind of Mount Rushmore? Like all women, all men, or all...
Let's just say all time. Let's just say all time.
So
all time favorite. We'll go around the room, all three of us.
Okay. My all-time favorite wrestler though is Kane. He was like the reason like I was attached to wrestling because like his story with Undertaker and everything. So I was like, oh, is this real? One of the many questions I would ask my sister. And so Kane, Lita, she did not look like a diva. She did not look like anything but her authentic self. Stone Cold Steve Austin, because he would always flick people off. I'm like, this is great. I love this guy. And then John Cena.
Okay.
He's phenomenal, and he is someone to watch and always be a fan of. So those are my four.
I'm gonna do two different versions of this, right? So my indie Mount Rushmore would be Chris Hero, Jimmy Jacobs, Nigel McGuinness, and Samoa Joe.
Glad you threw Samoa Joe in there. Yeah, that's a classic.
I love Samoa Joe. My mainstream Mount Rushmore for all time would be Rated R Superstar Edge.
Is this personal favorites too?
This is personal.
Okay,
personal
cool.
Scott Hall. Scott Hall is
the bad guy.
Bad guy. So all of my wrestling gear has drips on it. Scott Hall is my favorite. I thought he was the coolest. Undertaker I throw on there, and then Stone Cold.
Those are classic ones.
Yeah.
You guys ready to see my age?
Yes, let's go.
I'll throw John Cena on there because I know that's one of your...
That's my guy. John Cena's number one. Probably Daniel Bryan 2.
Yep.
Okay.
AJ Styles 3. And for the longest time, I used to say Roman. I've been leaning more towards Seth recently, just because Seth is my guy. And as crazy as this is, if I want to throw a wild card out there, I'm a big Shane O'Mac guy. I was just impressed by Shane McMahon back at the Attitude Era. I used to go back and watch his clips all the time. I know he's the boss's son, so it's kind of like, whatever.
That's funny.
But Shane was always good. So it'd probably be Cena, Bryan. I'll say Rollins Styles.
Okay.
I've always liked the underdogs, like the ones fighting from behind.
Rollins is one of my favorites. He's in the all guys category.
Yeah,
and Edge.
I love Rollins. He the promotion I wrestle for in Cleveland, AIW, Rollins used to drive 9 hours to wrestle there.
Oh wow!
Like that was the thing. Like, so AIW's been around for 25 years. When he first started, and like the who's who of everyone's came through AIW. Seth Rollins would drive up from where is he from? Iowa.
Yeah.
He would drive from Iowa to Cleveland just to wrestle. And he was the intense champion there. So like when I was the IW intense champion, it was like sweet because it was like surreal of like, man, Seth Rollins held this belt.
Seth Rollins held this belt. It's crazy to know how many wrestlers came out of Cleveland too. Dude, like The Miz, Johnny Gargano. Like there's a whole list of wrestlers that came out there.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, obviously, Nick Nemeth, yeah.
But that's the thing to where like the one thing that I love is history. So I'm like a maniac, and you can ask Joe Dombrowski. I always talk to him about stuff.
Shout out Joe.
I love history. Like that's something that I feel a lot of wrestlers now don't put in perspective. Like so many wrestlers came through AIW. So many people came through IWC. When we're at court time, I talked to Timothy Thatcher about this last time he was at IWC. Like we just talked about, man, all the talent that came through here that wrestled in this gymnasium. And he was like, this is insane. He was like, CM Punk. He's like, just all these people. So it's like something that makes me happy when I can sit there and talk to people, because, you know, these young kids don't understand. Like, hey,
right.
CM Punk wrestled in this building. He was the champion here.
That's absolutely insane.
Right?
It's crazy to know, too, probably, like, I mean, from your guys' perspective, you guys probably picked the brains of so many wrestlers out there. Like, even someone who doesn't want to get into wrestling, when Matt Cardona was at IWC last month, I went up to him immediately. I was like, oh, hey, I have a podcast. You have a podcast. Give me advice. So we were just kind of talking for a while, and it was really cool. What was some of the best advice you guys gotten?
So I'm very fortunate to be mentored by Chris Hero. Like, he's one of the producers at AEW.
Yeah.
So, like, he tells me everything. Like, he's my wrestling dad. So he
doesn't bullshit you.
Directly from him, difficult conversations have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
He says if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. So that's just a whole bunch of gems he's given me, and like he'll watch my matches and he'll rip them apart, which that's what I want. I want that because I don't want someone to be like, "That's great, you're good." I don't want that. I want that. I want to know.
Good.
I want to know what I did wrong or what I could do better. So he's given me a lot of good advice. Tommy Dreamer has as well. Matt Cardona gave me a lot of good merchandise advice.
I mean, he knows.
Social media advice.
And social media. So
Internet champ.
So he and AIW brought him in for a while. I would set up my merch directly next to his, because if you ever watch Matt Cardona handle that stuff, he's making money so much. So I'd always try to like pick his brain, like when we were staying at the merch table, of like, how do you do this? And he's like, I'm not giving anybody combos, because if people want this, they're gonna buy it. And I'm like, that makes sense. And like same thing with social media. He's like, post every single day. He goes, if you have one show, you should have enough content to post the entire week. And he goes, get your stuff, retweet it by people, and then spread those retweets, like the quote retweets, spread those out throughout the week. And I'm like, this is all social media stuff that, you know, no one does. And like, so just getting that stuff was huge from him. He was good with that. And who do you have, Katie?
Well, Tommy Dreamer is a big one, too. I've known him for about 1.5 years now, and he's always no bullshit either. Like, he will tell you how it is. Like, he ripped apart, respectfully, my match from IWC against Mila, but, like, he knows both of us, and he's like, all right, this is what it is. But then gave a lot of good stuff, too. So he's a really good one to just get his opinion, pick his brain about, and he's even told me some cool ECW stories about how they had health insurance. Off-topic podcast question. But honestly, Chris Jericho was a big one for me. I met him at AEW when he started going there, and I've done extra work with them in WWE for several years now. But I met him at AEW, and he started to remember me, which is cool. Someone like Chris Jericho, and it's like, he's like, hey, Katie. I'm like, hey, Chris.
Oh, that's
What's
great.
up? Like, it's just, it's nice. It's cool. It's cool. We're all fans at heart, but still professional. And, like, he was talking to me. He's like, how's Pittsburgh? How's wrestling? This and that. And this was right around the time, like I said, right before my 7th year, I was like, I feel like this might be my last year. I don't really have anything much more I feel that I'm going to feel good about. And I started talking to him about that, and he's like, well, where are you wrestling? And I was like, well, I've been with ESW in New York and, you know, Greektown in Canada, IWC, which he's familiar in AIW. He's like, okay. He's like, I know it's hard. He's like, but you're here. And because I made a comment, I was like, he's like, did you get a match? I said, no. I said, but I'm appreciative for being here, but it's nice when you get an opportunity.
Yeah.
Just so I can show what I can do, because it's hard to show what you can do unless you actually are seen doing it. You can send a resume as much as you want and talk yourself up, but unless the right person sees you, it's not going to mean anything. And he told me, he goes, you're here though. He's like, and people will remember that. And he goes, don't stop. He said, do not give up. Like, he John Cena'd me. He's like, don't give up. He's like, because the people that give up or stop don't go anywhere. He's like, I know it feels like, because he's like, you've been doing this almost 7 years. He's like, you just have to keep going. He's like, because the right eyes will see you, the right people will see you, you'll be at the right place at the right time, and it'll all kind of just fall into place. And he goes, even if it doesn't work out that time, it's just a part of your journey. And I said, exactly. And that's what I try to stress to people. I'm like, there's no end goal and there's no right path, right? Some people are very lucky and you know, get signed right away, but sometimes they ruin that opportunity. And some people have been on the indies for 10 plus years and they get an opportunity and they ruin it. So it doesn't matter. It's what you make the most of every opportunity, and enough to stay humble and professionally selfish to get where you need to be. And Chris Jericho really put that into perspective for me. Just don't give up. Be present always and just don't stop.
That's great advice too from Chris Jericho. I mean, you would expect it nothing more from a legend like
right?
Y2J.
I know. He's just casually walking through the hall. He's like, okay.
You're just like, hey. I mean, I would have been so starstruck. I showed you guys before we went on camera about the Corey Graves message. How starstruck I was.
That's
you
great.
You guys would have been like, I thought Y2J. I'm like, holy shit, that's Y2J right there.
And then he's like, are you gonna come to my Fozzy show? We're in Pittsburgh. I said, oh, when is it? And he's like, I'll text you. I'm like, okay. I'm like, sounds good.
That's great. And I mean, being able to be backstage and do stuff with WWE and AEW, I'm pretty sure you had a 6-man tag match on Raw, right?
Yes.
One time I was in attendance for that because I was like, is that Katie
from
IWC? I was like, what the hell?
Yep, it was me, Danny Moe, and Kayla Sparks against Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa.
Oh no, it was Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair. Yeah.
Yeah, how'd those opportunities come up? Was it just tryouts? Did they reach out to you? You reach out to them?
So there was someone, Ben Boone. He's been doing extra work forever for WWE, and it was the week before the guy that was in charge, because Gabe Sapolsky's in charge of extra talent now, and it was another guy named Ken. He got me in touch with because they were just looking for girls. They're like, we need girls for the wedding ceremony that happened like the year after that. And I got in that way, and that was just kind of like knowing people. Ben Boone was someone that took me under his wing when I first started. He got me some opportunities, and he was just very helpful in that way. And he was like, I have this opportunity. So it got me in the door right off the bat. And then Gabe took over, so I was just in contact with Gabe. So then for that match, I had messaged Ken. I said, I'm available for Pittsburgh this day. And he goes, okay. And he goes, we actually have another one in Rochester or Buffalo Friday for SmackDown. And he's like, if you want to do both. I said, sure. Well, I never got blood work or anything done for the first time because it was the next week. Ooh. So this was my first time I had to get blood work. I had to get my physical. I had to get everything in check. Well, they're very, very specific about blood works that you get done. I didn't have one of them specific that they needed. So for SmackDown, they're like, if you are offered anything, you can't have a match, but you can do some stuff. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, what do I need to do? Like, I'm going back on Monday in Pittsburgh. So I did everything I possibly could to get this blood work done. And thankfully, thank you, Ken, for offering me the SmackDown date, because I got my blood work checked and I got offered the opportunity by Molly Holly for Monday Night Raw. I was like, oh, and I saw the same medic. I said, please tell me this is the right one. He goes, what if I told you it wasn't? I said, you're going to make me cry. He said, well, it is. I'm like, oh my God,
he's playing with you.
Seriously. I was like, oh, thank God. And then, Molly Holly was getting us all together, and she's like, we're even going to have like a mini tryout. She's like, Hunter's over here. And I'm like, just Hunter. And Seth Rollins. So we're like rolling in the ring, hitting the ropes, because there were 4 girls and they only needed 3. So we were kind of doing that. We were in full gear and everything, and it was the 3 of us that got picked. And working with the 3 of them was so fun too, because again, like when you're up there, sometimes you think the ego is there. It wasn't. They were easy, fun, and when I tell them I've been wrestling for 6 years, they're like, oh, okay, not too bad. So it was beneficial for a lot of reasons, and it ended up working out. And I was surprised watching it back. I was like, I was in the ring like a good bit of the time. And it was all because I said yes to a move that I knew I could do, but I've never taken before. Advice that I got from you, because someone was like, who can take a stalling suplex? And none of them said anything. And I said, I'll do it. And that was what had me in there with Bianca the whole time, got me to break up a pin with Asuka. And I actually got to fight Asuka.
That's crazy.
When we were going back and forth, just talking about it, because it's very, very walked through at WWE, and Asuka's like, hit me. I said, I will. I just don't want to do it right now. And in the match, I was like, I'm going to hit her. And I did. And she's like, thank you so much. Like in Asuka fashion, she's like, thank you. Like, very, very appreciative. So it was just a very, very lucky.
That's so cool. And I mean, I've saw some dark matches too. I mean, what's that like doing AEW with you guys?
Oh, it's amazing. AEW, I love it. The whole locker room is just people that me and Katie know. So it's like when we go there, it's just like seeing your friends. It's cool. It's very hectic. A lot of things like, hey, you're gonna be wrestling in 20 minutes. Go out, get your stuff on, get your match together. So it's like, it's hectic like that, but it's great because like it tests you as a pro wrestler. If you could get your gear on, figure out what you're doing, go out there and execute it, it's great. The guy who coordinates everything, Sean Dean, the captain from the infantry, he says something that hits with me every single time, and it's, you're here to do a job, not get a job. And that's exactly what you're here to do. Like, you're here to enhance the talent. You're here to make the talent look good. You're here to be a security guard. But in between doing that, you're in the back, and AEW encourages you to talk to the talent. Like, this is one of my favorite stories of all time. Wes Barkley and I do Extra Talent all the time together for AEW. Wes Barkley loves Christian. If you ever watch Christian do a snapmare, it's not the same how everyone does it. It's of the other side. I turn a corner, and I look, and I just see down the hall Wes Barkley and Christian. Christian is holding Wes Barkley in full, like they're both in their full, like, Christian's in dress clothes, Wes is in a full suit, and Christian's like holding him, like for the snapmare. And like I see it, and I look, and I make contact with Wes, and I go, and I just walk away. And then later I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, Christian was showing me how to do that move. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, that's very random, but that's awesome. But it's great. Like, I love it. I've done it a couple times. Katie's had a handful of matches as well.
With AEW.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a favorite?
Probably. I mean, my first one with AEW was Jade Cargill, which was fun, and I got a nice little bruise right here. She's like, I just learned how to do a slingshot, the training. So she did it, but it wasn't correct, and she felt so bad after. I said, no, it's fine. I said, I got to the buckle. It worked. But I think my favorite one was against Serena Deeb. I got to wrestle her once on AEW Dark, and then once was live on Dynamite. And the one live in Dynamite, like, it was her 5-minute challenge, right? Like, so it was going to be less than a minute. And just being able to work with her was amazing because she is who she is, and Jerry Lynn was our agent. So that was the first time I got to meet him. So I'm like, two very prominent people that I want to make a good impression on, especially since this is going to be live. So that was probably my favorite one because it worked. It worked well for what it was, and Jerry had nothing but good things. Serena was appreciative, and she's like, now we need to have a real match. I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's great. And I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm still shocked that neither one of you guys are signed by one of these big companies. Because I've seen you guys do like work on the independents for so long, and being able to go to AEW, go to WWE, work these small shoots, it just baffles me. It really does.
We have a lot of momentum, and my ankle cut that momentum.
But
we're back.
But we're back. I think we're
back.
cooking. We're cooking at full steam right now. We have a lot of big things coming up, a lot of cool opportunities. So, knock on wood, whatever
Knock on
happens.
wood. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, I got one final question for you guys before we end off today's interview. It's the biggest one I'm going to ask you guys.
Oh, boy.
And I've asked this one on every interview. If you guys listen, you probably already know where I'm going with this. What's the go-to restaurant? It's a favorite place to grab some food. I'm a foodie. I love food. So where do you guys go?
Like in Pittsburgh or anywhere?
We'll just say anywhere, because I know you guys are all over the place. Is there a go-to place?
Well,
Katie's going to steal my answer for the Pittsburgh one.
No, you can say it. That's why I'm not going to say it. I'm going to steal the one for Cleveland.
Say it. Go on. What's the Pittsburgh pizza place?
Fiore's.
Yeah, I love it.
So good. I don't know how you found it, but it was really, really good.
I think I found it from the show.
Yeah. There's that.
There we go.
There's Barrios in Cleveland.
Okay.
It's a taco place. It's so good. I get like the same 2 tacos every time because it's build your own. And then there's a place in Niagara Falls or like Niagara, New York, where it's called Mooney's. It's a great mac and cheese place. There's all kinds of custom-made mac and cheeses, and it is absolutely delicious.
I gotta go now. That sounds amazing. Yes. My goodness.
Dude, we just travel like everywhere to wrestle, and we always try to find like a good restaurant. Like we wrestle in Michigan a lot, so we always stop at Mom's Spaghetti in Detroit. It's Eminem's spaghetti spot.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm trying to think of other random spots that we go to.
Taco.
Oh, yeah. In the city, there's a good taco place in the city here called Taco, Tako. It's pretty good.
Okay.
They have like weird, like, like weird octopus arms all over the walls.
Like the artwork
Yeah,
in
it's
there
like
is
crazy.
It's crazy. Very artsy place. We were looking, him and us and Shelby Water were looking for a place to get food.
Yeah.
And we were looking for tacos. I said, this place. They're like, that's a Chinese place. I said, no, it's not. And I'm like, look at the menu. And I'm like, taco. Because it's spelled that way. Like there's something over the O, I think. But great place.
Yeah.
Great place.
Great place.
Is there a go-to menu item that you guys always get at restaurants? Are you guys picky eaters, not so picky eaters? I'm a burger guy.
He's a picky
So
eater.
I don't eat any vegetables or fruit. I hate lettuce. Lettuce is the worst.
Despises.
Katie's
I'm like that with pickles, so I feel you.
Dude, Katie's watched me send stuff back because it's like there's lettuce on here. And she's like, "Just pick it off." I'm like, "It's all wet." There's like,
He's like, it's intertwined.
Makes the bun soggy. I know what you
like,
mean.
the
Yeah.
bun soggy, I can taste the lettuce.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
But apparently that's a thing. I've met other people that don't like vegetables, but lettuce is the worst one for all the reasons
Well,
he said.
we got food at Barrio once after wrestling training, and like I am always like busy. Like I'm always on my phone or I'm like always preoccupied with stuff. So they finally bring our food and I'm about to tear into it. And she's like, "Stop." I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "There's lettuce all like, not on it, but it was just like all on the side." And we were like, "What the hell?" Like they put like lettuce on the side of this burrito bowl. And I sent it back and they were like weird about it. Like
He's always very nice, but he's like, I just don't mean to bother you. He's like, but I can't eat that.
I hate it. It makes me sick.
Just despise lettuce.
Yeah, like she's seen me have meltdowns too. Like we'll go to like when we're coming home, I'll stop at Taco Bell and I'm like no lettuce.
No.
And then like like this is recently where did we come back from? Maybe we wrestled somewhere deep in Canada, so we had to come through Detroit. And like now I'm like hungry. I'm like so hungry. I'm like let's
He's
stop.
getting hangry.
I'm like we're gonna stop and get Taco Bell and like. It's like we're in a rough area. We're like in 8 Mile, Detroit, which is like if you know about M&M, that's rough. So I like pull off. I'm like, we're gonna get Taco Bell. So we pull in this Taco Bell. It's like super hood, and I'm like, no lettuce on these. And we're getting on the highway, and as I'm driving, I'm like, I smell lettuce on these. Like, and Katie's like, open them. She's like, no, there's no lettuce.
That's mine.
I'm like, I smell it.
Like it's
yeah.
mine.
It was yours that had lettuce.
It's mine that had lettuce. I like the lettuce.
Better not.
So what's your go-to, Katie? Is there a go-to menu item, or you really don't care?
No, I love steak.
Oh, steak. Okay.
I'm a big steak eater with a sweet potato and a salad with honey mustard. That's like my go-to meal. That's what I love.
Okay.
Steak.
That's not bad.
Or a spicy potato soft taco from Taco Bell.
Yeah, I'm as plain as it gets. Bacon, cheeseburger, and fries. That's what we had on the way in here. It was just literally bacon, cheeseburger, and fries.
Nice.
Nothing on the burger.
Where'd you get it from?
City Works, actually, right over in Market Square.
Yeah. That's the place I told you about. I went.
I'm trying to get your producer to talk.
Go ahead. Say something, producer.
City Works. It was really good.
There we go. Shout out to Nick Brown. Downtown Nick Brown, we like to call him.
Downtown
not
Nick
referee
Brown.
Nick
Not
Brown.
ref Nick
Not
Brown.
ref Nick Brown, no.
Not jacked ref Nick Brown.
He's jacked as hell. My goodness.
He is. He's walking around with a tank top. I'm like, oh. He's like, what? I was like, you look good. He goes, oh, I do? I'm like, yeah.
Well, I do appreciate both of you taking the time out of your days to come on the podcast. I know you guys are all over the place, wrestling a bunch of different shows, coming in from Cleveland. I really do appreciate that. I do want to give this opportunity to you guys. Any final words you want to leave with the listeners of Two Jagoffs before we end it off?
I have no final words.
No final
Buy our
words.
merch. We both have merch at Pro
day.
Wrestling Tees. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Please like, share, retweet, or re-X or whatever it is, repost all of our stuff.
Continue to listen to this podcast.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Continue to listen to Two Jagoffs. This is a great podcast. I love seeing the people that you've brought on.
Thank you.
And the conversations that you've had. And I know we hyped you up beforehand, but you have a great foundation with so much potential.
Appreciate
and you're just starting. So I'm ecstatic to see what the next year will bring for you.
Oh, thank you.
This isn't like a weird like I'm doing you a favor, little buddy. Like no, I generally want to see.
I wanted to be
grow,
on
bro.
here.
Oh,
yeah.
well, thank
it.
you guys. That really does mean the world to me. We just hit our 3rd anniversary yesterday, actually, of doing Two Jagoffs. So that's crazy. So that means a lot to me. That came from you guys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We didn't forget about you for tuning in to Two Jagoffs. Make sure you go like, subscribe. We'll tag you guys in everything too. Don't you worry. We'll make sure you guys are all tagged in there. We will see you on the next one. Peace.